I don't want to be that teacher that rings up home and being like, your child's, been naughty, or, your child's done this negatively or something like that. I always ring up when it's a positive. Let's not teach our children how to play football. Let's teach children skills or, games. Football's the umbrella, but we'll narrow it down. I put music on, bit of K-pop at the minute.
Oh, what this K-pop, they love it, don't they?
Absolutely.
Steve.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
We've already had a coffee and Gales. We already feel like we already know you. You're amazing. And
Thank
all
you.
I can say is...
What a guy.
What a guy. And I can only imagine all your children, as you are a PE teacher working in a SEND school, must love you.
Oh, thank you for the nice intro. I'm a dad of 4 and a PE teacher. I call it a 24-hour job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You must get no respite when it comes to kids, right? Like, I only have 2.
Yeah.
And I only see them after school and on the weekends. You're with children all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it. I get up in the morning, every day's different, and having to go into an environment where, I've got kids from primary age, secondary age, and I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's do it.
That's amazing.
There's not many people like you. I can't say that I would be like that. I would not be buzzing to go and work with kids all day.
Don't get me wrong, there's days where I'm like, today's going to be a tough day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's
You crack on.
It's challenging, but rewarding. Yeah,
So we want to really know from the beginning how you got into PE for a SEND school. Your son also would like to talk about. So just take us back to the beginning as to how you got into becoming a PE teacher.
So my journey's a bit of a whirlwind. Like, everything happened fairly quickly. So I was in school at sixth form and finished my 2 years with studying sport. And then I just knew at an early age, roughly year 8, year 9. And I was like, right, this is what I want to do. PE's for me, the subject I want to pursue in, take a career in. Got going with, starting off as voluntary work. So I had initial conversations with my PE teachers, so I had really good relationship with them. And then I was like, look, is there any way that I can step into an environment where, I've got no degree, no qualification. Well, I did for sport, but, the other subjects just weren't for me.
No.
So,
Ditto.
So I was just like, look, let's put my foot in the door and just see where I can help. So I did a community sports coaching role, and it was completely voluntary. I just was like, look, let's see what mainstream schools are like. And one of the schools was the SEND school that I'm currently still at now. And yeah, I loved every minute of it. So I did it for a few months. And then my SEND school that I'm at was like, look, we love what you're doing. Let's hire you as a PE TA to start with, so a teaching assistant.
Yeah.
So I was working under a PE teacher for a few years, and I learned so much. Like, I absolutely loved it.
So we find this really inspiring, and I know we've both got smiles on our face because for us having children on the spectrum, and obviously I know that you're now on the pathway with your son being 2.5, we just smile knowing that it's so comforting
and rare.
Yes, to have someone that is so passionate about their job. And before Bobby, your son, you had no SEN experience at all. No. Yet you've still been in the same job. How many years did you say you've been working there?
It's just 14 years
14
now.
years.
Yeah.
Not knowing any different than working with children that have special needs. For us, that's so inspiring, and want to say thank you, really.
No.
And could you come down here and be a teacher?
Yeah, do you know, I'd love to. Yeah. But that's what I did. Like, when I went voluntary, I was entering the unknown. Like, I was like, I didn't know sort of, the behaviours and all the different needs of the children, and knowing
and how each one is so different.
Absolutely.
Each need for each child is so different.
Yeah, and it's all like, I've got one set of eyes, one set of hands, and I'm like, there's so many different needs out there where I'm like, how can I cater for that child? How can I, do this for this child to make it a better experience for them? So, yeah, so I initially, did the PE teaching assistant role for a few years, and learned so much, like how to plan for lessons, and the curriculum, what that looks like for our children, and and it was like so much of an eye opener that I was like, at first I was a bit taken aback, but then I was like, look, let's just go for it. Let's do it, because, you know, I've got the support from the school anyway. They loved what I was doing, and they wouldn't have hired me otherwise. So, yeah.
Can I interrupt for a sec?
Yeah, go for it.
How do you plan for a lesson with kids on the spectrum? Because it doesn't always go, obviously, to plan. What sports do you do with them?
So I always go into my lessons having a plan A, plan B, plan C.
Oh, really? We've got plan C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at that level. No, I mean, so when I look at, you know, when I was at school, we was like, right, boys would do football, cricket, rugby.
Yeah.
Girls would do gymnastics,
Rounders.
netball, rounders. Yeah. And the years that I've been in my school now, I've completely scrapped that, like took it apart. And I was like, look, let's not teach our children how to play football. Let's teach children skills or, you know, games that football's the umbrella, but we'll narrow it down. And it's so much play based. Like that's what they need.
Yeah.
You know, we do a lot round play throughout the curriculum. You know, we do things like, you know, at the minute I'm teaching indoor golf. It's great. They absolutely love it.
Oh,
yeah.
stop.
So it's like I get the kids to, okay, we've got this equipment. Let's build our own crazy golf course.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they absolutely love it. But, you know, that's like a high level needs. But then now we've got children that are coming in. The cohort's completely changed of, you know, we're highly autistic school now.
You've got a lot of non-verbal.
Yeah. So visuals are massive.
Yeah.
Like, you know, communication and how we do things there is a lot different to pre-COVID, for example.
So, for example, I'm trying to understand this. When we've looked at SEND schools, and obviously Bailey's in a SEND nursery now, how it works, as far as I'm aware, is it works with not the children's ages, but their
ability.
Yes, and their development.
So we don't go off age-related expectations.
But obviously, for example, how does it work with PE? Because there may be some children that are incredibly academic, but have no fine motor skills and no coordination, so they wouldn't fit in the same category as someone. Do you know what I mean? There must be. How do you place them together?
So we have to heavily adapt.
Yeah.
So it's like I group children, you know, not on ability. Like I do it purely on friendships. You know, and so I get them to pick one friend. Yeah. And then I say, right, I'll pick the rest of the group, because then behaviour's going to start, I'm not with that person, I'm not with that person. You know, we've all been there. But
no one wants to be the last one to be picked.
So I heavily adapt everything. So, for example, like, you know, I was talking about my indoor golf at the minute. So we're at a stage where they're just about holding a putter. And, you know, golf balls are tiny, but I get out a massive ball and I'm like, right, let's hit this. So it's a sense of achievement because they're managing to hit the ball. So I go into all my PE lessons where I'm like, look, you know, I've got my plan A, plan B, plan C, because I know I've had lessons, you know, it's gone completely wrong. But the joy of it is seeing those kids' faces where I'm like, oh, they managed to do really well today. And I heavily praise them. You know, I'm like, look, you know, you've come into PE, which is an achievement in itself, because we've got kids that can't transition to the whole.
Callie hates PE. My daughter.
Yeah.
And they struggle to transition from room to different rooms.
I mean, transition's massive.
We had I went to go and see a SEND school yesterday, and actually I went into the PE room and they were playing tennis. Yeah. But they don't do it by like classes. The whole class doesn't go down. I think they take a couple at a time. Yeah, and depending on ability or where they are. I mean, it was just it was unbelievable. Like you had one that just hit the ball, and then when they hit the ball with the tennis racket, they threw the tennis racket with the ball. Like it was, and then you had some kids there in their wheelchair and were still doing it. I mean, it was unbelievable to see.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned wheelchair. We've got a couple that are in wheelchairs in our school, and it's like you mentioned planning and things like that. So I heavily adapt, and I have to do it round them. So I'm like,
you want to include them.
Yeah, absolutely, you know. But yeah, I mean, they come into lessons, they love it, and yeah, I mean.
So how many? Obviously, you're the main PE teacher.
Yes.
Do you have, obviously, again, I know every school is different, but in your school, how many TAs or one-to-ones or some other supports? So
within our department, I have my own TA and I have another PE teacher. So we co-share across the whole school. Yeah. So that's just in with our departments. But when we go to teach PE, I get a class, the whole class come.
Okay.
And
Which
then,
is how many?
So we have no more than 13 in a class.
Okay.
And their teacher probably comes with.
So the TAs would come. So
And
they, yeah, so the teacher would go on and do their work, ready for the next lessons, things like that. So so there's myself, my TA, so it's 2 of us, and then I've got potentially 2 other TAs from their class. So there's 4 of us on board.
Yeah.
You know, I get them involved as well. It's
Oh
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
but it makes it all fun, and it's also like team bonding for you as well.
Yeah, that's it, absolutely. And it's, you know, sense of like, you know, if I can do it, they can do it as well. So I'm like, I don't want anyone being the one standing on the sidelines, you know, that sort of role. But, you know, I've got adults that are, you know, not interested in PE, probably from previous experiences maybe, but I try and celebrate it. I'm like, you know, that's absolutely fine. In here, we're all going to have fun, and that's the main thing.
Obviously, working at a school, a SEND school, and being a PE teacher there, and then having your son on the pathway to be diagnosed. Yeah. And it does that not scare you, but obviously you're around it all day. So it's like, does that worry you that maybe your child? I don't want to say end up there, because that's a horrible thing, because it's not that they're naughty or bad or it's a bad place. But I mean, do you ever wonder, oh my God, this could be my son one day? And
so I go into work and I see sort of trends that my son does at home, for example, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, he's doing those sort of things. But in terms of like, I mean, if I teach him one day, that'd be great. But you know, it doesn't scare me in the slightest. It's a bit like, you know, where work is work and home is home, and I'm having to sort of balance that.
And keep them separate.
Yeah,
because I don't know if I could do the job that you do.
No,
having a
well,
daughter
I stopped
that
mine
have.
working in the school because I didn't want to see my future. You're seeing your son's future potentially. It doesn't necessarily mean he will end up in a SEND school.
No.
But seeing their daily struggles, I think teachers, and we can all say this, see more of our children than we do ourselves as parents. So you must see things all day long. And then, as obviously Jade was saying, do you then think, oh, Bobby might be like that when he's older? Or
I mean, it doesn't knock me back.
Does it make you sad?
A little bit, yeah. But I get, you know, so much support. Like, so I've only recently gone and told sort of close staff members as well. Yeah. You know, I work with the PE teacher. I sort of told him, and he was like,
trust.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You know, but it's interesting to see, you know, because we have like OTs on board and speech and language therapists at my school. So I'm like, you know,
advice,
let's see what let's see what I can get from you guys. Yeah,
100%. I feel exactly the same.
Use
you
it.
know, so I've got sort of resources at home that I'm like, oh yeah, we've done that.
You just seem very strong and positive. Can you say that you're always like that? Or are there times where it's a struggle? I mean, and the exhaustion, right?
Of course there's times, yeah, absolutely. You know, I end up going home and it's like, I need just 15 minutes to myself, you know, but, you know, I've got 4 kids at home, and it's like, I've got one hanging off me here and they're hanging off me there. But, you know, it's like, you know, it's part of the job, it's part of, you know, who I am. And, you know, I love my work, but, you know, home is home, and I'll do anything to make sure they're happy. That's my first and foremost. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. It's going to be a point where I'm like, you know, Bobby's at an age now where I'm like, okay, let's look at, you know, getting him a plan in place to go to school, and we'll let.
So is he at nursery yet, or is he
still
at home?
So he's at home with mum, yeah. So my wife Lauren, yeah. So.
Okay, tell us more about Lauren and your other children. You're a family of 4, 6.
6 altogether.
Tell us a bit more of your background. Where did you meet Lauren?
Oh, you know, it's so funny. So I met my wife Lauren. We was in a nightclub actually. Yeah, we both had the same story. So funny. So it's like I was at home, just like ready for bed. Like it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was like, I've had enough today. Get a knock on the door. My friends are there, and they're like, you know, come on, let's get out. Let's get out. So and I end up going out. You know, peer pressure and all that.
Didn't take much, I'm sure.
No, definitely. no, it wasn't nothing on TV. No. So yeah, get there and you know meet my wife now at the time. Yeah, and it's like going to that nightclub, and then she would tell me her story after we first started going out and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, my birthday's in December. You know, we don't really get out for my birthday because it's like Christmas around the corner, things like that. No one has money at that time." So she was like, oh, you know, she got peer pressured in sort of saying, so her best friend at the time was like, look, come on, you're coming out, we're celebrating your birthday. So it's quite a similar story, but it's like, yeah. And then,
it's meant to be.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been been together 10 years, and we've had 4 children in that time. So
not busy at all then.
Busy household, absolutely.
3 girls.
Yep, 3 girls. So my eldest Darcy, she's the girly girl.
They love PE.
Do you know what? She started playing football. Yeah.
Oh, you must be so proud.
Absolutely buzzing. I was like, come on, at least one.
Yeah.
But no, like she's golden. She's really well behaved, and like I said, girly girl. Second child, totally different. Like,
They do say that thing about the second child, don't
yeah.
they?
So her name's Marnie, and
Aww.
so she's a little pocket rocket. Yeah, she's brilliant. Like, and then she sort of follows suit. She was like, I want to play football now, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool,
great,
yeah, this is great. And then my wife's like, oh god,
where's the ballet?
Yeah, exactly. And then my youngest daughter Nancy, she's a mixture of both. But no, she comes up with such weird and wonderful stories. And
How old is she?
So she's 5. Yeah.
God, you're right in the thick of it.
Yeah.
So you've got 9,
7, 5, and Bobby is 2. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Any more?
No, thank you.
I know you're not allowed to really ask that, but it was more probably the banter, because if you said yes, I'll be like, just stop.
Just
stop now.
And what are the girls like with Bobby?
Mother him massively. Yeah. So it's like, they know. Like we've sat them down and it's like, look, Bobby might not be, your typical child that you see of his age, and he's on his own route, he's on his own journey, things like that, and they understand it. Yeah.
Do they get upset by it, or do they kind of just not really know too much at the moment?
So my eldest Darcy
I was
initially.
Say your eldest.
Yeah, because she notices it in her own school environment where there's a couple of children within her class that have needs, and so she gets it, and and it's like, but they try it. They're fantastic with him. They constantly try and say, try and prompt him with lots of things, and. But he's loving it. He's got me,
so much attention.
He's got,
doesn't have to lift a finger.
Exactly.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't think siblings get enough
credit
for how good they are.
Yeah.
No, your post the other day was so sweet.
I know. I did a little post on my other 2 and like how amazing they are with my daughter. And
you've got to celebrate it.
You really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really do. So tell us more about Bobby.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a dad's perspective, and I think lots of dads that follow us really like to hear from a dad's perspective as well. Obviously you work 5 days a week. You're with children all day long, especially children that potentially will be like Bobby or are. When did you start seeing signs? How did you feel about it? Have you gone through any of the processes yet? Are you on the full-on pathway?
So, I mean, when he was 1, it was like he had like a good bank of words, and I was like, oh, okay, like boy being a boy, a bit lazy.
3 older sisters.
Three older sisters doing it all for him. Yeah. And then, so he would say like, mum, dad, like, the usual. And then when he got to like 1.5, near to his 2nd birthday, and I was just like, there's a massive regression here. So
Did he stop looking at you?
Yeah. So he wouldn't sort of keep eye contact. So if I call him, for example, if he's at one end of the room, I call him numerous times, he wouldn't turn.
And he used to.
Yeah. He's only just started sort of responding to his name now. But if I said like come here, or something like that, it's always prompted. So I'll have my arms out, and he knows that's a due for a cuddle. Yeah. But so past his 2nd birthday, and it was like he would say the odd word, but not consistently. Yeah. So it's almost like pre-verbal, where I'm like, okay, well, let's work on that. Yeah. He loves animals, farm animals, loves dinosaurs. Trying to get him to love football.
He will.
Yeah, here's a ball.
So
kick
when
it.
you say he had a regression, and he obviously had a bank of words, how long was the time or the period where there weren't any words at all, and now they've started creeping back up? Was there a bit of a time?
Yeah, so I mean, going from when he was just past 1, so in that period between then and I'd say his 2nd birthday, so a good year.
Yeah.
My wife noticed it more, like I said, I was at work most of the time, and she's with him constantly. She's super on board with it, and she's taking it. And
how is she with it?
She's great. She's amazing with it. Yeah, like she takes him to baby groups, and there was one week where it was just him on his own, so it was like fantastic. It's got all these people around him. Yeah. So So like I said, at work I'm sort of getting these resources, print them off. At home it's like,
knowledge is
sensory
power.
And communication around, and it's like, let's try this way. He's sort of picking up the communications, just throwing it at the minute, but it's like we just keep doing it. It's routine, so let's stick to that.
Does he have does he stim?
Yeah, so he like sprints on the spot. Yeah. So and I'll show you later, but he does this little run.
Does he check his hands out?
A little bit, so he'll find something super exciting and he'll like sprint on the spot, and I'm like, this is
that's
great.
That's when you know that he's buzzing.
I'll
and
do it
so
with him.
excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what they always say. I watched someone as well, something online, and they said when your child stims, stim with them and let them know it's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what Marley said? I think I told you. I don't know if I did tell you. Marley, my son, he stims a lot, but his is more like head banging or moving his head side to side.
Yeah.
And he came out the car, he is verbal, and he said, Mummy, I bang my head because it makes me feel very comfortable. And I said, and that's okay then. And I couldn't believe that he was able to express it to me. But it made me just think, rather than people staring or me thinking, my God, what's he doing? It makes him feel comfortable.
It's amazing that he can verbalise
Isn't
that.
It?
Yeah.
And acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, like I said, no matter where I am, I'll do it with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just celebrate with him and just make him feel comfortable that he's doing it.
That's it. And he loves throwing. Like, I've never seen...
Backwards or forwards?
Both. Just anywhere. Yeah. He's got a good throw in him.
Good. You must be proud of that as well.
Yeah. And I'm like, sometimes it's like aimed at me as well. And I'm like, oh, thanks for that. Yeah, cheers.
I just think it's so ironic, if that's the right word, to think that you've worked in a SEN school for 14 years and then you and your wife have an autistic child.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
if that's
I wouldn't change it for the world either. Like,
would you really not? Honestly?
No, I wouldn't.
See, my husband's exactly the same as you, and we always don't agree with that.
No.
Because we want to change the world.
I think it also depends how severe your child is as well.
Yeah, but it's also where I'm so used to him being him. Yeah. And I'm a bit like, I don't want to change him in a way where I'm, obviously I want him to talk and things like that, but this is Bobby. Yeah. That's what I want, and it's, it's something that, like I said, celebrate him being him, and it's exactly the same I do with my own daughters and my wife as well. Yeah, absolutely.
You just seem like a lovely family man.
Oh, thank you.
You really do.
That really just enjoy. You just seem like you're in your nice little bubble, and you enjoy yourself, and you're accepting your life and your family and your career and everything like that. It's actually really nice to hear.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about school.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to know about your students. I want to hear some success stories. I want to hear progression.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I had to speak to the Senko of Caddy School today, and she said, you've got no idea how bright this girl is. I said, no, I don't, because I don't see it.
Yeah.
So I'm got a meeting next week and I'm going to see her workbooks and things like that. But hearing that, I had the worst morning in myself. I just thought everything was doom. Didn't even know how I was going to come and talk to you today. That is how low I felt today. And then I had the call with the Senko, and I thought, oh, she's going to say this and say that and all this negative stuff. And she made me feel so much better, like I could breathe.
Yeah.
And I can talk to you now, which is really
absolutely.
nice.
It's great.
But I love to hear success and progression, because I just think we all, when we listen to these podcasts, we want to hear that ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us.
I mean, what I do is when I'm at school and I'm teaching children, across the whole border, and it's like, I don't want to be that teacher that rings up home and being like, your child's, been naughty, or, your child's done this negatively or something like that. I always ring up when it's a positive. Like,
really?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, for example, I take the secondary boys to a football trip. They love football, and it's like they want to, so they play against other SEND schools as well, which is fantastic.
Serious?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So that's a celebration in itself. Yeah. Going out of school where they feel safe into an environment where, it's big open space and things like this, and I'm like, they're here. That's the main thing. Let's celebrate this. So I do it to all their families, and I'll ring them up.
So nice.
Yeah, ring them up and just say, look, they did it today.
Big
you should be
day
proud. Send postcards home as well. So it's like, we'll have like our own sort of personalised PE postcard, and I'll write a little message, send it off.
Oh, stop. Oh my God, I would literally cry if that came through my door.
No, I mean, so success stories, even like in PE, if they come to my PE hall, I look at that success because the transition's massive from classroom you know, we're up one floor as well, so we might have to take lifts, things like that, and you know, walk downstairs, and you know, those little things that we take for granted. And it's like, you know, they want to get into the PE hall. I've had children that don't get to the PE hall.
Why do autistic children or how suffer with transition?
I think it's just a safety blanket, isn't it? Where they're so used to being. Well, it is noise.
I mean, even if it's in the school, you're still in the school. Why is it so difficult?
I mean, yeah, if only I had a magic wand.
Yeah.
How often do they have PE?
So we do it once a week.
Okay.
They do it for an hour. So I have an hour's slot.
Yeah.
We have classes that an hour's too much.
Yeah.
So I'll do things like, you know, I'm like Joe Wicks in the classroom for 10 minutes.
Great.
Yeah. I'm like, you know, let's put him on. So I do that, and then we transition. You know, they get changed and things. So I'm a firm believer, like, to get them changed.
Do you have to help them?
Definitely.
Yeah. Some kids are independent, they can do it, but others, you know, inside out, back to front, things like that. And I look at it as a life skill, because if I don't do that and I say, oh yeah, you know, it's fine, you can come into school wearing your PE kit, you know,
they'll never learn.
They'll never
love
learn
that
it.
you do that.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
And whether that takes up the lesson or not, I mean, so be it, you know, and we'll go back and be
skill,
like,
isn't it?
yeah. And it's a routine, because, you know, when you wake up and, you know, go to work or go to school, you get changed, you get dressed, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and in a PE perspective, I'm like, you know, there's so many different, you know, cohort of children that come in through the door, and it's like, you know, let's get them moving and enjoy moving, you know. That's the first and foremost. I'm like, let's get them moving.
Yeah.
You know, I put music on, things like that, you know, bit of K-pop at the minute.
Oh, what this K-pop, they love it, don't they?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Do you do a sports day?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Bring the parents along.
Oh.
Yeah, and they absolutely love it. Like,
Are they competitive?
Some can be.
Yeah.
So that's down to me. I've got to adapt that, and I show them what it's like to win and not to win, and how can we learn through that, and you know.
So it must be really, really challenging for a PE teacher working in a SEND school, because if you think about like a mainstream school, yes, you're going to maybe have like 5 kids out of the 30 that you know you require extra attention for them, but you've got 13 each hour of the day, 13 different children every single hour. And you need to adapt to every single one of their needs.
Of course.
That's a lot. That's hard working.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I sit there and I'm like, right, where do I start? Like, let's go with this child first. I always sort of deal with the higher needs and work my way up from there. And it's like, you know, so I sort of set my hall out where I have a sensory area, and then I have the main skill area that I want them to achieve, like something small there. And then it's like, okay, then you have your free time area over here, and it's like I get them doing like a circuit and stuff like that. So they have an element of each.
Do you do, so for example, again with Callie's school, she now has to have a sensory circuit every day where she has to leave the classroom, go and do a bit of fitness, which lol, she definitely hates.
She did it on her own.
She'll do it with a TA or a
one-to-one.
It's almost, yes, it is, but it's almost like the best way that the best way they described it to me, it was the educational psychologist. Okay. She said she's sitting in the car for half an hour on the way to school, and then she's sitting on the floor waiting for everyone else to come in, and then they're doing the register, and then they're sitting on a desk because she's in year 2 now. That's too much sitting for her. She's got so much energy to release. So I think they do a sensory circuit between like dropping off at school, going into the classroom for maybe 10 minutes, and then going out and then coming back. So she's released everything she needs to.
Brilliant.
Do you do
we do something very similar. Yeah. So I always, like I said, I have my own sensory area when they come in for PE. So if they need it, it's there. Yeah. And then, like one child in particular, like I can just remember this like it was yesterday. So I'm like trying to set out the class and, you know, introduce the lesson, things like that. And he's there like sprinting up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm like, you know, I've seen adults where they're like trying to stop him, and I'm like, no, let him do it, let him absolutely do it, you know. And I'm like, go on, pick a friend, do it with you, yeah. And then
no one else cares.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, get it out your system now, and then you can enjoy being part of, you know, the fun.
Because if you made them sit down, they probably just wouldn't want to be there, or they'll just leave the room.
Behaviours will start. Yeah, massively. And
so it's kind of like taking their lead, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
And that's what I find really hard parenting SEND children.
Yeah.
I want to take the lead for my children, but they take the lead for me, if I'm saying that right. And it's the same for you. Obviously, it's your role, it's your A, B or C plan.
You're the teacher,
but yet they may guide you as to what they want to do, and you just have to kind of just wing it and go with it.
That's why we have the rules. Yeah, I mean, we have student voice in our school as well, so that's how I shape my whole curriculum. So I go up to A, B and C classes and say, look, what is it you want to learn, or what is it you want to do? Majority they come up with the usual football or netball and things like that. But I'm like, okay, well, you do that at break times and lunch times anyway. Let's think of something different. Think of something new. So I go on websites and look at sort of Paralympics, for example, and I'm educating myself, with these sort of games and things like that. Yeah. And we sort of try.
You must educate yourself a lot.
Yeah. And I did it when I had my experience at mainstream school as well. Whereas now you're getting more and more kids that are going into mainstream schools as well and things like that. And you've got to realise that, okay, well, how can we cater for that?
Sorry, so in a SEND school, do you have to stick by the national curriculum?
To an extent.
Have national curriculum for SEND schools?
No, so that's what I truly believe they should have. So what we do is we look at the national curriculum, what it asks for us to do.
For a mainstream
setting, and then we adapt it. Yeah. So
everyone's different, basically. So you all go by like the same guideline, but yet you all kind of change it in regards to the needs of the child.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you think they should have their SEND school curriculum?
I truly believe that.
But how would that work if every SEND child is different?
Well, this is it. I mean, that's what comes into play with things like student voice and things like that. And I try to get parents involved as well. And I'm like, look, let's create something that, will hit your child's enjoyment within physical movement. And it's, it's going to be massive because, like I said, there's so many different needs, but we try our best, to hit all that. We do after school clubs as well and things like that. Yeah.
So, do you do those as well?
Yeah, I run that.
How are you here? I'd be in bed.
I wish.
Swimming.
Yep, do swimming.
Unbelievable. Yep. Don't you know, obviously working in a SEND school, that autistic people adore swimming.
Yeah.
Do you have a swimming pool in your school?
No, unfortunately not. So we got our own school minibus and we take them to a local swimming bars. And
come on, that must be really stressful.
I don't do it now though. I'd love to go back and
do it.
Really? Yeah, so we have so my TA would do it. So he would go with a group of children and so he'll go in the pool with them as well as the instructors are in there too.
It's more like the changing rooms and getting them all changed and having a shower and they're all sensory because their feet are wet or whatever. And because I know it from taking 2 children, let alone.
Well, the school that I went to go and see yesterday, they actually have a swimming pool on site, and what the teacher does is she goes in with them one at a time for about 10 to 15 minutes each child. So she will stay in the pool for the whole hour and a half, and each child will go in for like 15-20 minutes and just be on a one-to-one with her.
That's amazing.
So we got a school, like a SEND school that's not far from us, and they call it a therapy pool. So it's very, it's quite similar.
And it was all indoors and it was all like sensory and it was quiet and dark and...
Sounds great.
I know, I need that.
I need it too.
Unbelievable. So obviously you're not going to say anything negative about your school. You've been there 14 years. You obviously love what you do and you're so passionate. If I was a random person that lived in your area that was looking to put my child into your school, how would you promote your school?
I know.
I know.
Absolutely. I think like words can't describe it. It's almost like you have to be in the moment to see it and live it. But I can't speak highly of the staff. Yeah. Can't speak highly of the kids.
And obviously the best PE teacher in the world.
If only there was one. But no, I mean, I celebrate us as a school anyway. And, the values and the vision that we have for our children. It's, we're trying to get them to enjoy coming to school. Yeah. And I'm like, let's put PE at the top of that. I'm biased, but I mean, every kid comes into school, with a smile on their face, and we try to make sure that, we keep it to that throughout the whole day. But you're gonna get kids that come in and, you know, especially on a Monday morning, you don't know what's happened on the weekend, things like that. But
the transition, the meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, we've had parents come in for a visit before, and I've had a child straight in front of them having a meltdown. But that's expected.
That's what I had yesterday.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of where I am, and I can't imagine myself going anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point where I was doing my teacher's training where I'm like, oh, let's give mainstream a go.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for 6 weeks within my placement. And then I was like, week 4, week 5, get me back.
It's probably harder in some ways.
Absolutely. So I was teaching like year 9 girls javelin.
Oh, javelin.
Yeah.
So quickly, sorry. I wouldn't know what Bailey would do in a PE lesson. I don't know if you've seen what Bailey's like, but she's quite non-communicative. Mm-hmm. She's non-verbal.
Okay.
We don't know what interests her at the moment. And she loves the cause and effect. She's got horrific motor skills. She's hypermobile. She doesn't have like something, you know how you said your son loves like dinosaurs or whatever he loves. She doesn't have like a love for like one thing. Yeah. An interest, What would you do with her? How would you keep her interested?
That's another good question.
On the spot.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we
she's
try
younger. She's in nursery still.
Yeah. But... So we have an early years department.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, this is so funny. So I had like the Gruffalo book, and I did the whole theme on the Gruffalo within my PE lesson.
Love that.
So I have like a circuit.
Yeah.
Play the Gruffalo in the background, the songs that go with it, and the key points that go with each story, and then I get them to sort of live
that would go
the experience.
Straight over her head.
I mean, it would. You know, some kids just they've never
even
read
nursery rhymes and things.
Yeah,
might?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's getting them, you know, into a setting where it's going to take time. You know, whereas after one lesson, it's not like, oh, okay, I love PE now.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I think even walking in a PE hall would be PE for Bailey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's so funny you say this because there was a time where we were teaching walking in a direction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, Bobby doesn't walk in one specific direction. We can't have him outside in a public environment where he's, you know, he just goes gun ho.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so we had things like walking, running, jogging,
jumping. Jumping's a big
can't
one.
Jump.
No, it's really quite normal.
Do you know, a lot of children with these fundamental skills, they, you know, it's
can't
quite
jump.
hard now.
Yeah. She doesn't jump.
You know, and I mean,
she falls over herself.
But if you think of a jump now, like we just think, okay, just a jump like that. To
Take
them,
it for granted.
It's but to them, it's like there's so many different small steps to it. Okay, I've got to bend my knees. Okay, I've got to have, you know, got to keep my feet apart. I've got to, you know, swing my arms, and then I extend, and then in the air. What that feeling's like, and I put that in my planning. You know,
break down the jump.
So I have kids that can't jump, but they're bending their knees, and I'm like, let's celebrate that.
Yeah, she can jump if I'm holding her because I'm jumping. Whether it's me pushing her up or down, I do see like her knees like bending. Yeah. But she will walk and she will trip over herself. Yeah. Or I mean, I look and I was like, how did you just end up on the floor? There's nothing in front of you.
No, we do it.
Bless her. But that's what you've said as well, putting Bailey into a SEND nursery now. Like, they adapt to each child individually, and there's so much progress. I mean, even with Callie, when it was sports day, reception, no. Year one, she couldn't catch the ball. It would go in the middle and all the kids would laugh, and there was me, like, with my fist, like, all right.
As
but
a parent,
obviously I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And then year two... She was, whenever it was, she was doing full-on sports day. She was, like, hopping and doing things, and things just take time. And as you said, like, the staff and the TAs, they get to know your child, and they can really help. So she will definitely get there, Jade.
Of course she will.
100%.
Well, you did say, I mean, we went out on the weekend, didn't we? For about an hour. We went to a garden.
We went to a garden centre. Oh my goodness, because I know people want to hear this. She's been at SEND nursery for 2 weeks. Yeah. The difference in that child, I could not believe it. She was engaged. Yeah. She loved me. She wanted me to hold her and kiss her and pick her up, which I was more than happy to do. But she normally, when we've gone out before, 5 minutes and they're gone. Yeah. We were there for a good 40 minutes, sat down, had a cake, like such progress. And it's almost like she's kind of finding her feet.
Yeah.
And she took the lead.
She took the lead, which was huge progress.
Hats off. That's great.
Hats off.
Love it. Yeah.
So to end this, give us, I know you've already said a success story, but I want to hear like one. I want to know about a child that maybe came in a bit like maybe like Bailey, who had like no skills at all when it came to any sort of fitness.
Yeah.
Can you share anything like that with us?
I'm just having to think on the spot here.
I know.
She likes
so many.
to do that.
I mean, one in particular that I've noticed in the secondary department, completely non-verbal. Hated even transitioning to PE. And then I was like, okay, let's get underneath this here. Let's find their interests.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the Piccadilly line.
Okay.
So I was like, right, okay, let's go with this. So I printed off every single stop of the Piccadilly line, printed it, laminated it, and then I put it at, say, every 5 meters from transitioning from classroom to the PE hall. And then I'm like, I fully expected this to completely fail. But, I persistently persevered with it and did it with that child. And I was like, right, we've got to, whatever stop it was, Hammersmith, something like that. And then halfway in, no, bad enough, go back to class. Okay, let's celebrate us getting to there first. That then took a half term, I'd say, so 6 weeks. And we got to the PE hall.
Wow.
So that for me was great.
That's amazing.
But on top of that, now this non-verbal child has now started to say the train station's on the way to PE.
Wow,
So I'm like,
crying my eyes out.
and then, but this is before doing any physical activity within the PE hall.
That is unbelievable because you so broke it down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a firm believer where I'm like, look, let's take their interests first before saying, look, you're going to do this.
Well,
and
it's
you're
got
going
to interest them, otherwise they're not going to do it.
Yeah. And like themes help. So I mentioned the Gruffalo earlier.
Yeah.
Like, we've had the Olympics and things like that where, we celebrate and have that going on. So I'm like, look, let's involve these themes.
I love that.
Then it will either interest them, or if not, that's absolutely fine. But they're in the PE hall. So
but that's why I think there's such a difference between SEN and mainstream.
Yeah.
Because you've got more of that time to really adapt, take more time to make it happen. Whereas when you're in a mainstream environment, again, there's nothing wrong, Callie's in a mainstream school, they don't have the time. They've got 29 other children that they have to just get them into the PE hall.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and you've got to think of as well, like the children that they might be a handful that have these additional needs, and it's like, I've seen it, they've chucked in the deep end, and it's like, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, that doesn't sit right with me.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I just have to say you are unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're incredibly inspiring.
Yeah.
You do have your own Instagram page, which we're going to introduce as well. So guys, get following because there's so many amazing tips and advice, all to do with PE, sports and being neurodivergent. So Steve, you've been amazing. Thank you so
for having
much.
me.